Happy Friday morning, Mountaineer fans. It's Chris, it's Mike, it's earsports.com, taking up 3 minutes of your morning to talk about brand synergy. Mike, we talk
Mm.
about West Virginia on our site, then our national guys talk about West Virginia, and then we circle back, do a podcast talking about what they talk about, which is what we talk about. It all goes together.
Mhm.
This one being from Brad Crawford, who gave his 50 thoughts on college football for the 2024 season. A couple mentions of West Virginia on that list, starting with number 32. And I want to get a true or false from you. West Virginia wears the underrated crown, a plethora of returning starters, a quarterback primed to take college football by storm, and a coach who wears his emotions on his sleeve. Mike, is West Virginia one of the most underrated teams in the country?
All the things he said are true. I would think that West Virginia is among the most underrated teams going into the season. I'm not sure they're the most underrated in the Big 12 or in the country. Are they in the conversation? True.
Which I think is saying quite a lot because we being 24/7 sports have West Virginia in the way too early preseason top 25. So if they're underrated and we being 24/7 sports already have them in the top 25, whew, must think pretty highly of them. The next
Mm.
time he brings up West Virginia, he says the Big 12 title race will come down to the final weekend and points out Utah, UCF, Kansas State, Iowa State, West Virginia, Texas Tech, and Kansas at Baylor. Mike, is West Virginia going to be in the Big 12 title picture in the final week?
I think they're going to have their hands in the gears somehow. They could be a team that has to have something go right or just has to take care of business to get to Dallas, or they could play spoiler. That game at Texas Tech, I think a lot of people realize that both of them have something going, and one or both might be in there at the end of the season. But, there are good teams like Oklahoma State, who I kind of think is underrated. They're on the road at Colorado. That might be easy. So that's an eventful game, but also you have like a Kansas State at Iowa State game. Iowa State, I think, is pretty underrated. That has implications too, but it's at Iowa State. So um, I think that this assessment is 100% true. I think that West Virginia will be involved either as a disruptor or a facilitator for itself, but the schedule makers did a really nice job setting things up at the end.
Perfect. Now it's time for Brad to circle back and write another story about us talking about his previous story, and brand synergy will be complete.